The search engines are constantly changing, especially Google I/O's latest development on how they're implementing AI mode. You have different LLM models increasing more of like the market share when it comes to search and the overall behaviors people conduct when searching. So with all these new headlines affecting like the way search behavior is basically changing and how search engines are going to prioritize content, it's putting people in more of like this fear state. And again, just like every other year, SEO is dying. And to put it blunt, there hasn't been much of a strategy change when it comes to ranking within GEO or generative engine optimization. It's pretty much just traditional SEO, but you just want to make sure you don't put all your eggs in one basket and really just focus on having 100% of your traffic coming from organic search. And you really want to push more on the PR aspect or just building the brand overall. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what you should be focusing on, and that should be backlinks or brand mentions. And this is what's basically driving more of that visibility within LLM search models. And I'm going to break down the exact strategy you should be implementing and steps you should be taking to really start increasing more of like that visibility. So when I go to Google, you can see here they added the AI mode feature within the search in itself. They had it in beta testing for a couple of months. Now they officially released it for people living within the US. I don't know yet when they would release it worldwide, but currently it's only specifically within the US. So if you're searching and using Google within the outside of the US, you probably won't see this feature, but it's pretty much just a chatbot experience similar to like ChatGPT, and it's basically just AI overviews. That's like pretty much the same way like AI overviews have that linking feature and stuff like that that provides like citations and stuff. But yeah, so for example, if I search for something like compression shirts, you can see it's pulling from the search of like Google Shopping, what's ranking currently within like the search engine of Google. And pulling a lot of citations and sites. Like I said before, it's pretty similar UI as AI overviews and just mixed in with ChatGPT. But the main focus I want to talk about here is why brand mentions or just creating backlinks specifically is going to improve your chances of ranking within these LLM models, aside from like AI mode within Google, but also like ChatGPT and stuff. You literally can just see like what type of sites they're basically referencing, right? So for example, there's like Gymshark, Wikipedia, we have Under Armour here, we have Gymshark, and on-page SEO is obviously an important metric for you can first of all just rank in general for the keyword. So if you're creating like if you have more of like a gym wear brand and you want to rank for like compression shirts, I would suggest you optimize, your PDP pages or your CLP pages and creating like categories within compression shirts, or making sure like that specific keyword you have are within like the product page in itself. So for here, we have an overview of just the benefits, what are compression shirts. So this is probably where you would be ranking for like top of the funnel content, and maybe you can increase visibility there. But everyone knows click-through rate has been decreasing for like more informative keywords. And only like the top of the bunch are getting a lot of visibility or click-through rate of AI overviews and stuff. So a lot of brands are trying to shy away from just creating more of like top of the funnel content. But if you do create, top of the funnel content, make sure it's like providing more of like that intent base, making sure you're bringing in people through like your marketing funnel, implementing things like schema markup, FAQs, and entering FAQ schema, since a lot of these LLM models have an easier time understanding the context to what you have to offer within your specific page. And schema markup will definitely improve your chances of increasing visibility through that. So for example, you have like products, implementing product schema markup, FAQ schema markup, etc. But the main focus I want to talk about that would actually bring in a majority of increases within your visibility is backlinks. So for example, we can see here just within the citations in itself, like this is giving you basically the blueprint into why these brands are being mentioned. Number one, they already have really good brand visibility, so they're running ads, stuff like that. But number two, they're also getting a lot of brand mentions. So for example, we have like this blog here from a really high domain rating, a website that has a lot of authority. We can see here like 11 best compression shirts for men to wear. That's getting a lot of visitors. And then we can see here the type of products that they're suggesting, right? So for example, we have Under Armour, Havoc. Then we have another blog, Ultimate Guide to Compression Clothes. And then we have, Gymshark being here as a top cited source. And then we have also Under Armour. Again, that's like a top cited source, but you can see here, like it's recommending like type of brands to buy. The main three is Gymshark, Venom, and so if I'm looking at Under Armour, we can see here like they have a really optimized landing page, really focused on like the compression shirt or compression keywords. So we can see here they have like an H1 here, breadcrumbs for internal linking structure and such. So for example, if I go like to men here and I look for shirts and tops, we can go to compression here. So like they have a really good set of internal linking, meaning the link juice from the homepage is being spread out through a lot of these category pages. Pretty much similar setup when it comes to Gymshark. They have an SEO optimized landing page with good URL structure. But then when I analyze like the overall like backlink specifically to these URLs, we can see here like they don't really have much being pushed towards that, right? But that's because they have a good internal linking structure. So this domain rating is just more of an estimate. Like this shouldn't be like the end all be all KPI on where your basically authority is within your domain, but this can give you a rough estimate. And this is like the main thing you want to focus on is gaining as much backlinks to that profile. But if you have maybe like a collection page, you really want to start pushing forward to get more visibility within the search engines, but also within LLM models. You should start creating more of a specific structure into the anchor text and the target URL when you're creating these. And they pretty much follow like the best practices when it comes to like the overall structure. And the main structure I want to talk about is more of like the contextual anchor text you want to be implementing. So for example, they have the anchor text revolving around compression fabric, and then they have more context when it comes to before they implement the anchor text. So for example, the overall blog is talking about the brand product in itself. So it's like discover Gymshark Onyx, Ultimate Physique Fitness Apparel. They have compression fabric as the overall anchor text and provided context. And another example is for Under Armour. They have 2 backlinks. Again, like the main focus anchor text is going to be compression shirts, but then they also provide more of like the brand within like the contextual information around like the anchor text. So this is like the same approach you want to start doing as well. So I'm gonna break this down into an example. So obviously either number one, you want to create a guest post by reaching out to website admins or creating one on an existing post. And there's a link below in the description to give you more insights into how to basically create backlinks or conduct backlink outreach and different strategies you can implement. But we can see here, for example, it would be a backlink that would be contextual. So for example, top X compression shirts, since like the overall focus is to push more visibility to the compression category page, we would focus on a blog that's pretty relevant and pretty similar and has more of like that keyword within the overall topic in the article, right? So what you do is you implement your backlink into an anchor text and add more contextual content around it. So for example, you would find a space where you can add more context. So for example, this is like an example one, like you can talk about more of like the benefits of the gear. And this would probably fit better under more of like the benefits of like a compression shirt. So that could be like a good contextual like topic you can revolve around. But when it comes to like this here, like top X compression shirts, it can just be a listicle, since listicles are heavily favored when it comes to ranking within like Google AI mode or just like different LLM models. And like I said before, you can really just look at the citations that are being referenced as well. But what you want to do is you want to add the context behind before you implement your anchor text. So this way, the search engine understands more about your brand, what it's referenced to, and what's more like the support aspect of it. So we have brands like, and then you can add like your brand here, for example. Like you always want to add your brand near your anchor text that you're linking back to. So for example, like brands like this could be like your brand focus on providing compression shirts, and this would be the overall like target page since you're using that exact matched keyword. But you also want to switch it up. You don't want to just consistently just build the same anchor text focused keyword when you're pushing to like your category page. Like for here, for example, you can focus on high performance compression shirts, but this all underlies on your keyword research and the target of the overall keyword you're trying to rank for. But this can definitely help you outperform and increase more visibility within the LLM models. But another thing you want to keep in mind is more like the competition level. Obviously, it'll be a little bit more tougher since you have more bigger brands ranking for compression shirts. But we saw like after analyzing like their backlink profile, like they don't really have much backlinks being pushed. So you do have a chance to really increase more of like the visibility if you're like focusing more on like compression categories. But at the same time, their overall domain authority, since they're pushing a lot of just like PR, a lot of backlinks overall to their site, makes them have a higher like domain authority. And they have a really good internal linking structure. So if they're just thinking of it like a plumber, like they have pipes leading from one water source, since they have a high domain authority within like the overall page, they have good internal links. all this link juice is being flown out to like these category pages. But if you like hyper focus down on like the exact category page, for example, if you're like an e-commerce store, you want to push more visibility with LLM models, then the strategy I just broke down will definitely help you increase more visibility within. But we can do something less competitive, like maybe something local. So you could do like restaurant, let's do just restaurants near me. And then we can see here in AI overviews or AI mode, it's pulling a lot of list of number one, highly rated restaurants. So we can see here that testimonials are being more of a consideration when it comes to this. And it's pulling directly from the Google business profiles. So optimization of Google business profiles are like really important. And then we can see here, again, more like reviews that are being placed. And then we can see restaurants with outdoor seating. So really trying to optimize your Google business profile and adding more things that can probably differentiate you from your other businesses will help. But then we can see here, like there's still basically, like I talked about before, brand mentions when it comes to outside sources and backlinks. So we can see here like the 10 best restaurants in Patterson, and restaurants are being referenced and backlinked to, and having more of like that contextual backlink strategy that I just covered. Then you have things like Reddit, which is another good strategy where you can talk about more of like the best restaurants within a specific area. And Reddit is being prioritized as well too, since it's being used as AI training for their new AI search as well too. So you've probably seen like a huge increase when it comes to Reddit. But yeah, that being said, SEO is consistently changing with AI affecting the overall landscape, and PR and brand mentions is probably going to be like one of the main focus you should be highlighting to increase more of like that brand visibility when it comes to like LLM searches. And there's a link below in the description as well where you can get a free tailored SEO video audit on your business specifically, so you have more insights into how you can improve your overall visibility. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.